So this is the solenoid track that I made in Fusion 360. As you can see here, let's zoom out a little bit. So it's just a block with a square portion that's cut out for the solenoid, and then there's this cylinder portion that the marble will roll, and then the hole where it falls out, the marble falls out, and then goes whatever into whatever Rube Goldberg mechanical structure that you have. So the steps are basically, this is in reverse order. The hole is the last thing, and then there's a cutaway for the cylinder part. That circle is called a sketch. You'll see what that is coming up. And then there's a cutout for the solenoid. That square portion is where the solenoid fits in. Okay, that's another sketch. That was a move, another sketch, and an extrude that was to form the base before the cutouts. And then the first thing you do is a sketch. So you'll see what a sketch is when I show you the steps here. Also, let me just say right off the bat that I'm a novice at Fusion 360, so you know there's probably a more effective way of designing something like this, but I'm going to show you what I did. Oh, and one thing you do want to make sure when you open up the program, if it's not already set, if the increments are not already set for 1 millimeter, you might want to go ahead and change that. Alright, so let me open up a file here so I can show you the steps involved. So let's see, the first thing is you create a sketch. So you come up here, create sketch, and you have to choose a plane for the sketch, and I'm going to choose the top plane. This gives you the view over here. So the top view, and that's your top plane. So you got to click on the yellow square, and this palette comes up. So when this palette is up, you know that you're within a sketch, and you need a sketch to either build something, or if you have something and you want to take material away, like you want to take, you know, you got a block and you want to take some of the block away, you also need a sketch. So you always pretty much start with the sketch. Okay, so we're going to come up here to solid, 2-point rectangle. So you just want to make a rectangle, and I don't know if you have to, but I always put the rectangle so that the origin is within the rectangle. And you can see that the top dimension is highlighted, okay, and our width is, let's see, 1.5 inches, I think, if I remember right. Let me measure my piece here. Yep, 1.5, and let's see, the length is 6.5 inches. So I'll put in 1.5 inches, IN for inches, and then you tab over to the other dimension, and the length I've got is 6.5 inches. And then you hit enter. Okay, and it took the inches and converted it to millimeters. Okay, so 1.5 inches is about 38 millimeters, and 6.5 inches is about 165 millimeters. I have a mouse that has a center wheel, which is really convenient when you use Infuse 60 because you can zoom in, zoom out with the center wheel. You can also, if you press down the center wheel, you can drag your view. So it's pretty convenient. Alright, so we are finished with the sketch. Okay, so now if you hit the home icon, it gives you an orthogonal view. Okay, and then this cube is how you can change your view to look at, you know, the various angles, you know, whatever view is most convenient. Okay, so now I'm going to click on this surface, and we're going to do what's called an extrude. So up here, and this is going to give the base height, and our height is 3/4 of an inch. That's what I used. Alright, so there, we've got our base. This is basically our block that now we're going to cut away material to get our track piece. So let's see, let's go ahead and save this at this point. So to save what you're working on, just hit the save icon up here. We'll call this solenoid track, oops, Illinois track video. Whoops, not spelling very good today. Let's see, video. And it'll just put it in this admin project folder. You can name different folders. Okay, but I'm just gonna keep it there. So we'll save this. Okay, so now we need to do another sketch because we're going to cut away some material. We need a sketch to do that. So create sketch. And this time I'm going to use the sketch in this plane here because I want to cut into the material lengthwise. Alright, and we're going to do another 2-point rectangle. I'm just going to draw one here within the block. Oh, let's back up here a minute. Let's back up. We should move this first, move this block, because when it makes the sketch, it's on this origin. So let's hit the move. I can just back this up here. I just want to back this up about to the origin here, so right about there. And that's because when we create the sketch, alright, go back to this, and we choose the plane is right at the origin. So if I had the block where it initially was, you know, the sketch is like within the block, and I want it to be on the edge, because we're going to cut into it lengthwise. Alright, now we can do our 2-point rectangle. Let's see if we can make this bigger here. And I can drag it over. Alright, so I'm just going to put this rectangle within here and then put into dimensions. It's, let's see, the square notch is 1 inch by a 1/2 inch. Alright, so 1.0 inches, and then you tab over for the other dimension. 0.5 inches, and then once you get the dimensions, then you hit enter. Alright, so now we want to move this sketch, and I want to make sure it cuts away all the top, and I'm going to eyeball it as far as centering it. See, I'm counting the squares there. 7. What's on this side? Oh, maybe a little bit over. I think that should be close enough. Alright, and then you select this, and let's see, finish sketch, and then we want to do an extrude. Alright, so now we want to cut away material, so down here at operation, you want to choose cut, and we're going to cut into this. Let's see, what is it? I think it's 2.5 inches. Yeah, about 2.5 inches. So this distance here is how much we're going to cut into it. So 2.5 inches. And okay. Let's see, how did we do? Yep. All right, it worked. Okay, so you see it made that square notch. All right, now we want to do the cylinder part. So we need another sketch for that. Select the sketch, and again we want this plane here because we're cutting into it lengthwise. Okay. Okay, we're gonna need a circle. And let's see, we're gonna center this. Now, you don't have to be super precise here. I'm just gonna eyeball it. Let's see. So, yeah, it looks right about there. It looks close to the center, I would say. All right, and then we're gonna expand this out. So it looks like right about there. Let's see, if we move it just a little bit here. let's see, we'll say it's like 25 millimeters. What does that give us? Oh, I somehow got two. Looks like I got two in here. Let's back up. Alright, there we go. And let's see. Yeah, right about there. Alright, that should be close enough. Alright, so now that's the sketch. Alright, but now I gotta move this. Or actually, I don't have to. I could just do it. I was thinking I could move this to where we're gonna start the cylindrical. Yeah, actually I should. So let's move this. Oops. Move. Right, move this like this. Let's take a different view here. Let's see. I gotta move this some more here. One right. Like I said, you don't have to be super precise on this. Alright, so that's the move. So now, let's see. Alright, so now we want to choose this and do another extrude. And this is going to be about 3.75 inches. So 3.75 inches. And there it is. All right. Okay, so we made that cylindrical part. So the only thing left we have is just to make the hole here towards the end. So to do that, we're going to flip this on the bottom side. And let's see, create a hole. And we want it on this plane. And let's see, we want the hole to be about 5/8 of an inch, so that's 0.625 inches. And let's see, we want this. Oh, it wasn't, got the error because the hole wasn't on the actual piece. I gotta move the, let's cancel this. So we gotta move this. Let's try it again. Okay, yeah, see the plane's got to be on the piece, otherwise it doesn't know what to make the hole into. So we want this plane, and then I think I can just drag this. Yeah, here we go. Let's move this out of the way. And I know this is right about here. Again, I'm not being super precise. You know, you can use these grids here to get a more you know, accurate placement, but that looks about just about where I want it. So let's see, actually maybe we should, oh, we got to put in the diameter of the hole. That was the 5/8 of an inch, so that's, again, that's 0.625 inches. No target find. Whoops. I don't know why we got that error this time. Okay, so to make the hole, you click this icon here and then choose the surface that you want the hole. I was choosing the plane, but it's choose the surface. And this is the bottom view of the track piece. So now we just want to put in, let's see, just want to put in 0.625 inches. Okay, and there's the hole there. I wasn't real careful with the placement, but before you put in the size, you can move it. Let's see, maybe we can back up and try that again. Let's see if I do the hole. I choose this. Yeah, see, before you actually put in the diameter of the hole and hit enter, you want to place it. So let's see, we'll put it right about there. I think that's about right. 0.625 inches. Alright, so there it is. Okay, so now, yeah, see we've got everything. Okay, we've got the square portion where the solenoid's going to fit into. We got the cylinder portion that's really part of the track where the marble rolls, and then the hole where the marble will fall through and then continue down the whatever mechanical apparatus the Rube Goldberg machine has. So anyway, like I said, there's probably a more efficient way of making a track like this in Fusion. Like I said, I'm just a beginner, as you can tell from this video. I still kind of just stumble around and figure stuff out, but the key to Fusion that I have found is anytime you want to build something, or you want to like take away material, you often you start with a sketch. I guess the hole is one exception, because we didn't have to do a sketch in order to make the hole, but in order to make the base, the block, and then take away the square portion and take away the cylindrical portion, we had to start with sketches. Alright, well hopefully this video was useful, and you know, the track that you make doesn't have to be the same as mine. If you want to make it a smaller piece so it won't take as long to 3D print, that's fine. Also, there's not a requirement to use this particular track piece to hold your solenoid in your Rube Goldberg machine, because you may have some setup where this track doesn't fit into, but you do need some way to secure your solenoid, as you'll see when you see how it operates. Okay, because if it's not secure, the solenoid, its operation can be intermittent. So you do have to design this track piece, you know, just for this lab, but you don't have to actually use it in your Rube Goldberg machine if it doesn't, you know, fit into it.